Shalom, shalom. Just Kapari, aka Pops out Gym at Chicago with a brief sit down. Before I get started, though, like always, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash. To the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York, Elder Bishop out of Connecticut, I want to send double honors because they do real well. For the brethren around the world, pushing this truth uncut, unfiltered, giving you the good, the bad, and ugly in the scriptures, correctly breaking down the prophecies and the interaction with the people and the planet. I send a hearty shalom. Anyway, George, another one bites the dust. Another one of these celebrities bites the dust. He was 76 years old, so it isn't like he was a real young man, anything of that nature. Okay, had fame, had fortune, had wealth on his side, was an ordained minister and all these things. But guess what? None of that matters now. You know, and as an ordained minister, he's standing in front of Yahweh Shai and saying, damn, okay. Or not necessarily standing, but he's in his right mind now and know, damn, I was taught all the wrong shit. I believed the wrong shit. I pushed the wrong shit. I called on the wrong name. I had people believing and following behind me with the bullshit that I pushed. I was an antichrist because I didn't speak according to the word. I thought I did, but I didn't. Must be a hell of a thing to wake up in your right mind and realize how much you done fucked up and that you can't go back and fix it. Sound like the rich man and Lazarus, huh? Yep. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna put a couple scriptures with this, and then I'm gonna go from there and call it a day. I'm gonna let this play. Then I'm gonna put scriptures with this and let this play. I'm gonna let this play first, then put some scriptures with it.
Tonight, sad news out of Texas. Boxing legend and entrepreneur George Foreman has died. His family announced his death tonight on social media. Foreman won a gold medal for boxing at the 1968 Summer Olympics in Mexico City, and he soon turned pro and won the World Heavyweight Championship twice. The first time was in the 1970s, then again in the 90s when he was in his mid-40s. Foreman later became an ordained minister and a businessman with a famous grill that bore his name. George Foreman was 76 years old.
Okay, and that wasn't later. Like I said, when he lost his championship and this, that, and the other, then he became an ordained minister. And then he went back to boxing after he had made a grill and all kinds of other stuff, after he put his name on a grill and all kinds of other stuff. And so the man had made money. Yeah, you know, this, that, and the other. Don King didn't get a chance to totally fuck him out of his money and all this other kind of stuff. But anyway, none of that money, he can't take none of it with him or anything else. So let's put some scriptures on some of this stuff and call it there. I'm not going to make this too long. Okay, so like I said, I was going to pull up some scriptures. So I'm going to pull these up real quick and go from there. I just got, one in Proverbs and probably two in Psalms and call it a day because I'm not going to give this man too much shine. He had his shine here on the planet and he wasted it not finding the word of the Lord and this, that, and other. So he obviously wasn't meant to be part of that in the first place. So I'm not going to try to give him more shine than what the Lord already let him have in this evil, temporal, wicked world, as Elder Yahya likes to say, as the Bishop Yahya likes to say. 8 and 33. Proverbs 8 and 33. Let me see. Hear instruction and be wise and refuse it not. Think George Foreman ain't never been to New York? I got the answer to that on my other phone because I asked that question, just for the hell of it. And you'd be surprised at the answer. But okay. Hear instruction and be wise and refuse it not. Blessed is the man that heareth me watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. George was an ordained minister. But like I said, the same way I came across that guy that had a master's in theology years ago, I used to challenge him all the time. And after about 6 weeks of just back and forth, I came to the conclusion. I knew that, but I just kept trying to see if there was something that did he have anything that understood salvation and how to obtain it, and he didn't. So, all praise to Kahala, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Kakakata, that the Lord even let me cross the paths of the men of GMS and be able to get the true understanding of the scriptures, and was able to take all my so-called theology understanding that I thought I had at the ripe old age of 49, 50, and put it up against the bros and have them break it down little by little and show me the real as opposed to what society had pushed at me my entire life, starting with my mom and that whole scenario. Okay, so let's go on back here and read this. Hear instruction and be wise and refuse it not. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. Blessed is that man. So the men that have this truth, they can go out there to the highways and byways and push this truth. They are blessed. For whoso findeth me findeth life. George didn't find it. He had the wealth of the world. He was well to do as far as he wasn't even up. He was nowhere close to even mid echelon on the wealth scale when it comes to these Edomites. He was nowhere close. He was a peon and everything else. But in the so-called black community, George had money. Matter of fact, let me check that out real quick. Give me 1 second here. No, hold on. Let me back up. Let me go this way. Let me go out this way. And ask this question this way. George Formen net worth. Look this up real quick. 23 minutes ago. George Foreman's net worth right now. Let me look at this. George Foreman net worth $300 million. There it is. From legendary boxer to successful entrepreneur, George Foreman is worth an estimated $300 million. In the so-called black community, he's definitely in the food chain. Okay, as far as the black community will be concerned, $300 million. He's not even a billionaire. Okay, he's not a billionaire, and so to the trillionaires that run the country, he's a nobody. We know who he is. It's because of his fame and his boxing ability that we even know him, and this, that, and the other. But as far as being able to sit down and really call and say he want to talk to us about something and this, that, and the other, blah, 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 to the Rothschilds, the Oppenheimers, the Bilderbergs, the DuPonts, and the Gettys, no, you need to go through somebody. You can still have to go through somebody. I mean, you got money, but you ain't got that. You ain't like that. Now, if we had a social gathering or whatever, and you come up and you want to talk to me, you're famous. I'll talk to you or whatever. But you're not that dude. Period. Okay? So, that's what that was. So now let's get back to it. Okay. So now, scripture wise, let's get back to the scripture. Okay. So, uh, so he didn't get a chance to watch daily and push the truth. For whoso findeth me findeth life. He didn't get that, so he don't have that. He had money. He had what he thought would be perceived as a good life here on this side. So he's got his constellation. He got his constellation. So now he's looking at what he had, how he doesn't have anything, and now he's standing. He has to stand in that mode and understand that whatever the sentencing is, he's going to have to deal with. See, people think that because he passed, it's over. The Lord could decide that he wants to send him back this last go around. He could come back as a baby, you know, tomorrow in his family line, and he could come back to a poor person in his father's family line, and go right in, and that spirit can go right into that kid, and he's here in a poor part of town, having to deal with this, that, and other. And by the time, the Lord let everything crack, 6 months old, 8 months old, maybe a year. I'm hastening the day. I hope if he come back, he come back and the fucking nukes drop, and he as a baby he gets to burn in the fire. If he's destined to be here for the fire, I hope that's how it goes down. But if not, but the Lord, like I said, is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Okay? But for whoso find me findeth life, but George didn't do that, and shall obtain favor of Yahweh. So he didn't do that either. He didn't find that. He didn't have that favor. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. He was an ordained minister, right? So that means that he was what? Whatever gospel truth that he thought he was pushing, it was going against the Lord. If he wasn't in this truth, pushing 100% of it, he was going against the Lord. Everything that he said that came out of his mouth, that from the wrong name to everybody can be saved, and everything that they push in between was wrong, and he pushed that. And now he's in his right mind, understanding that and knowing that it's a fearful thing to be subjected to because he didn't have the correct truth, what his judgment can be now. Okay? And with all that, it's worse to have had this truth and then fell away. I don't know why this keeps coming up, popping, doing this. I don't know why this. Why is it doing this? I don't even understand this. Forgive me for a minute. Let me just turn it down then, because I can't figure out why it's doing this. Okay, but anyway, well, that is what that is. Okay, let me see. Because I asked this thing a question, we'll pull that up and try to get to this and get it over with. Let me see this. Because like I said, okay, but he that sinneth against his wrongs his own soul, all they that hate me loveth death. So if he didn't go to push this truth, that he loved death, and he didn't find it, so the Lord set him up to be able to say that he loved death because he got everything he wanted on the other side. Now, I asked the question about George Foreman having been in New York. Like I said, and the answer will astound you. Let me see. Let me get to my camera. Let me get to my camera and pull it up. Where's my camera at? Okay, there you go. So I don't know how this is going to kick in. There it go. Okay, you see it. Has George Foreman ever said been in New York? Yes. George Foreman's professional boxing career began in 1969 with a 3-round knockout fight in New York City, and he was like, and now the AI is just going with it and assuming it and saying, and he has likely been in New York on numerous. He was a celebrity. He had interviews and all this other kind of stuff on Channel 7 News out of New York and all this other kind of shit. So, of course, he's been to New York. And, of course, that would mean that he had to have been down there. And, like I said, you know where the apostles teach at or used to teach at? For real? For real? You mean to tell me that you don't think he ever come across them or heard them or whatever in some form or fashion around New York somewhere? Give me a break. Okay. So, because AI even says it has likely fight in New York City. He has likely been in New York on numerous occasions throughout his career and beyond. Let's see. Here's a more detailed look at his boxing career and potential visits to New York. Foreman's professional career began in 1969 with a 3-round knockout in New York City. While the iconic fight against Muhammad Ali, known as Rumble in the Jungle, took place in Zaire, now the Dominican Republic of the Congo, Foreman's boxing career legacy led him to travel extensive. Hold on, no, okay, come on, back up. Extensive travel extensively to New York. Okay, let's see what we got. George Foreman, also known for promoting his George Foreman Grill, and it's possible he has visited New York for promotional events or other business purposes related to his grill business. Wow, George can't get around this. George Foreman, the son of, okay, blah, 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 recent news. And it's possible that he had been to New York in the recent past. So I asked it, and AI said, yeah, he been to New York. Of course, of course. So what he gonna say? He didn't know? That's what we tell you. These celebrities, they know. They done been around. They done had a chance to know. Okay, so he can't get around that. Let's go to Psalms. Let's go to Psalms. Like I said. 89 and 48. Let me see. Let me go to Psalms. 89, 48. Psalms 89 and 48. What we got here? What man is he that liveth and shall not see death? So you mean George didn't ever contemplate death, especially at that age? Of course he has. Of course he has. I'm 63. Yes, I've contemplated death. Okay? Many a times, even before I was ever in the truth. And now, so way more since I've been in the truth. Okay? So yeah, he contemplated death. What man is he that liveth and shall not see death? Shall he deliver his soul from the hand of the grave? Can he do that? Was George able to deliver himself from the grave? No, so he's gone. And in him being gone, what he got? He's at the mercy of Yahweh while Yahweh Shah. And if they don't like what they and whatever it was, since he wasn't in this truth, he's got some destruction coming. That's the way the scriptures spell it out. Let me go one more. One more. Psalms 49. And I'm gonna end it with hold on. I'm gonna end it with Psalms 49 and this particular group of scriptures here. start at 1. Psalms 49 and 1. Hear ye all ye people, give ear all ye inhabitants of the world, both low and high, rich and poor together. My mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. I will incline my ear to a parable. I will open my dark sayings upon the harp. David speaking. Wherefore I shall fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my heel shall compass about me. You did all this stuff when you was young, and even in your older age with this loot, he didn't slow down and think about that and try to find what was real, what was truly real. Okay, he was too busy. He was too busy uh, um, having his wealth to wonder if he had found the truth. He figured he had, and that gain is godliness. And he's worth 300 million, net worth 300 million, net worth $300 million. Okay, so he was good. Okay, wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my heel shall compass me about? They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches. Oh, you know he was doing that, especially when he was almost broke. When he went low, low. Like I said, after that, after he lost to Ali, he had some bad times there. Remember, he started an ordained church, trying to pull himself up financially. Oops. So when he got up to, he worked net worth of 300 million, he thought God had turned around and started blessing him and had looked down on him and smiled on him. Gain is godliness. Okay. Okay. So, and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, verse 7. None of them can by any means redeem his brother. George couldn't buy somebody else out. Hell, George couldn't even pay his own way out of the thing of death that he had to face. Nor give to God a ransom for him. George wasn't able to put enough money on the table for the Lord to say okay. So he's out of there. He died, and now he's back before the Lord, and whatever judgment, if it's a turnaround judgment, he's getting that and facing that. That's just the way it goes. He don't get the rest, and his works are that of abomination, because he didn't use his platform to pick up on the truth and get it. It just wasn't meant for him. Obviously, it wasn't meant for him. He was gonna get his constellation on this side with that 300 million, and the Lord said, "You were 2/3. I didn't want you." You never heard him talk about Yahweh Shai. None of that. You never heard George Foreman even mention those names. So he wasn't part of that. He wasn't part of the hopeful elect. Okay? So he died, and now his misery has got to be trying to figure out, even though he's at peace, if he's got another round that he's got to go. So hey, for those that's in the truth and pushing this work, or following the truth, and in the ministry, and as a person that's trying to adhere their life to the scriptures and understanding Yahweh Shai and what he actually did for them as part of the hopeful elect, you are in a much better position right now than what George Foreman has got going. So with that, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem, Ka'apakatah, to the apostles and the elders of GMS out of New York, and again, the elder bishops out of Connecticut, double honors because they do rule well. Hopeful elect, hope that's edifying. Brothers is out there pushing the truth, keep pushing, and keep praying and keep asking the Lord to hasten the day and get this over with. So for the hopeful elect, a hearty shalom, and for the rest of the world, a barber ball.